And they respond, we want Mashiach now. Around 1980, this Rebbe Schneerson started telling his followers that we want to bring out the Messianic age. We want to hasten the return of the Messiah. This is to justify the title. I said a doomsday cult. Well, they're looking to bring on the Messianic age, the end of days. This is a meeting with the young Bibi Netanyahu in 1990. And you can see the influence they might have in Israeli politics.
בזמן שישראל לאחרונה נתפסו כמה עניינים. מה שרואה עוד, וגם מצאו שעדיין משיח ליבו. אז הייתה מה שהוא ומה ידיעתו. הכנראה שהיא מספיק, שהיום כבר כמה שעות בגיר ועדיין ליבו. אבל יש עוד כמה שעות, אבל יש להשתדל גם היום.
The Shluchim of Chabad Lubavitch. They're everywhere. You can try to run, but you can't hide.
The world refuses to recognize Jerusalem. Can you imagine? They refuse to recognize Jerusalem. One after the other. All the countries. Some of them had embassies here, kicked out by pressure in 67 and 73. And since then, it's almost half a century, since then, nobody recognizes Jerusalem as our capital. The embassies are in Tel Aviv. I love Tel Aviv. But it's Jerusalem, Jerusalem. It's our capital. And what a capital. Nobody moves the embassy and nobody recognizes Jerusalem until someone comes who's politically incorrect, brash and unabashed, and one day out of the blue says, that's right, Jerusalem is Israel's capital and I recognize it. And that's what President Donald Trump did.
I am the chosen one.
What does Donald Trump, the image of the beast, Hanukkah, and Cyrus have in common? Let me ask you a question. What is Donald Trump doing on a coin with Cyrus, with a seal of a lion and an eagle with two wings, and a third temple. Guys, we've been showing you how consistently Donald Trump has been fulfilling things related to the beast. And they're happening again. And it's really, really important you understand this. This is the war, the clash that's going on, that the beast is overcoming the saints and deceiving the saints of the Most High. Now, in order for you to understand why is this person, Donald Trump, listed here with another person, Cyrus, what we have to do is we have to go back 2 years and we have to look at the Cyrus decree. It was at that time we told you guys, there was a video, the Cyrus decree. And the Cyrus decree is after 70 years. It is to restore and build the temple. Okay? Now, Donald Trump fulfilled these things in precise dates. Okay? So, what happened? Well, first, let's look at the prophecy. This was a video we shared with you guys November 23rd, 2017. And now we have this Cyrus scroll and the Cyrus decree. Now, let's talk about this decree. Now, everything about Cyrus in his decree relates to Jerusalem, okay? And it relates to 70 years, okay? This is what we're getting at, is Haggai actually gives us the date of the commandment and the decree to restore and build Jerusalem. Thus says the Lord, okay? And let's keep going. Let's go to verse 18. Consider now from this day upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month. This is coming up in a few days. Okay? From the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. Consider it. So guys, what we're telling you is this. The 24th day of the 9th month is Cyrus's scroll, Cyrus's decree in our day. Yes, it happened historically. Now it's going to happen again. What does that mean exactly? A few things. Will this manifest in something that we will see? I don't know. But what it does mean is this is a significant date for those preparing for the Lord's return.
The 24th day of the 9th month is December 5th, per the Enoch calendar. It is the Enoch calendar you're looking at here. You see the 9 and the 24 circled, and underlined is December 5th. The next day is December 6th, and it is the first day of Hanukkah.
Therefore, I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Israel is a sovereign nation with the right, like every other sovereign nation, to determine its own capital. It was 70 years ago that the United States under President Truman recognized the state of Israel. Ever since then, Israel has made its capital in the city of Jerusalem, the capital the Jewish people established in ancient times. I am also directing the State Department to begin preparation to move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The United States remains deeply committed to helping facilitate a peace agreement that is acceptable to both sides.
And the Sanhedrin has minted this coin of Donald Trump. Here you can see Donald Trump on this coin. To his left is the ancient King Cyrus. King Cyrus assisted the Jews in building a third temple. To the left of Cyrus is a seal with a lion on it. And we're clearly showing you Donald Trump is this lion with 2 wings of an eagle. Okay? So there's the lion, and below it is the Cyrus scroll. And then over to the right, we have the seal of the United States with 2 wings of an eagle. So Donald Trump is clearly this lion with 2 wings of an eagle. But the Sanhedrin, the judges in Israel, okay, they're expecting him to build a third temple, because you can see right at the bottom,
he charged them right here to build a house in Jerusalem. So the Sanhedrin and the Jews, some of the rabbis, fully expect Donald Trump to build a third temple. That's why we saw the temple in the promotional video. Okay? And if you don't know this coin, this is stuff that's going on. It's a Bible prophecy being fulfilled. This is a temple. You can see this is the temple coin they minted for Donald Trump in the expectation they will build a third temple in Jerusalem. 2 weeks after Donald Trump announced moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, on Hanukkah, what you're looking at is a Hanukkah. Hanukkah has 9 candlesticks or 9 lamps, okay? But the Jews dedicated this underground synagogue. Okay, now this is dedicated on the Jewish calendar Hanukkah, which was December 19th. So you might say, well, Leland, they didn't build the third temple. Actually, yes, they did. You missed it. And here it is. Most of you that are familiar with this channel, you're familiar with this synagogue here. If you're not, we will have links in the description field to describe what we're looking at. It's something called the Chamber of Hewn Stone, which is clearly part of the third temple. Okay, there's the Hanukkah to the right, and there is the globe pomegranate, okay, visible from down below, looking up. Here is a view from one end of the synagogue that has 70 seats. In the back, it has 24 seats. This is called the Chamber of Hewn Stone. It is part of the third temple, and it was dedicated on Hanukkah. There we can see the Hanukkah. It was dedicated on Hanukkah 2017. Okay, 2 weeks after Donald Trump announced moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem as part of the Cyrus decree. Okay, and so again, you can see this. We have visited this a few times. And again, as we zoom in, there is the Hanukkah. And that is basically them saying, watch for Hanukkah. Okay, this was dedicated on Hanukkah. It's part of the Cyrus decree, it's part of the third temple. And then it's very important for us to watch what happens the next year on Hanukkah. That's what that Hanukkah is telling us. It's telling us Hanukkah is on dedication, major things will happen. That's right, we were on site in Jerusalem at the altar dedication. Here you see the altar. Here you see the lamb in the priest's hand. The fire is lit. And they're throwing the lamb onto the fire. So this is the altar dedication for the third temple that took place during Hanukkah. I believe it was December 10th. There he's putting on the fire. 2018. So 2017, the Chamber of Hewn Stone. 2018, the altar for the third temple is dedicated. And there you see the lamb that was sacrificed burning on the coals of the fire as a very, very ominous sign of the sacrifices spoken of in Daniel chapter 9. So, this is Hanukkah 2018 when this took place. But there's more.
I'm going to show you the precise day when the Antichrist begins his reign of 42 months, or a time times and dividing it. That would bring us to the 6th month and 14th day. And this is Esther's preparation in like a few weeks. But that would be the year 2020. That would be the year 2019. Okay? 2019 would be August 24th, 2019. That's the date the Antichrist would begin his reign and his power. Okay? And then it would go 42 months.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
You haven't watched the show. I happen to be Jewish by birth, and 75% of all Jews vote Democrat, and they don't like Trump. And this is the greatest president for Jews and for Israel in the history of the world, not just America. Trump's the best president for Israel in the history of the world, and the Jewish people love him like he is the king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God. And in America, American Jews don't like him. They don't even know what they're doing or saying anymore. It makes no sense. But that's okay. He keeps doing what he's doing. He's good for all of us.
Put a prayer in the wailing wall. Oh, you'll never get a donation. All we want is your obedience. All you must do is placate me.
Here we see in front of us Donald Trump actually approaching the walls, putting his hand on those ancient stones. They're very smooth down the bottom, where hundreds of people for thousands of people for hundreds of years have put their hands there and prayed there, and he is doing that. Normally when people who are not the President of the United States go, it's very crowded. It's been completely cleared of people so that he can have this private moment of prayer at this site that is holy for Jews. And so we see his wife on the other side, her hands also on these ancient stones. We see the President of the United States putting a note in the wall. This is something that you do, a note you write for God, a wish that you have that you want fulfilled.
Yeah, worship me. You can try hard to deny that we call all the shots, but if you don't do what we say, your campaign will never get off the ground. Romney, Bush, and Rand came to the Holy Land. They all answered to the Jews. Clinton and Vladimir faked a volunteer. They like to appease the Jews. They put a prayer in the wailing wall. We shall put them in donations. Guaranteed obedience. All they did was get on their knees. Put a prayer in the wailing wall. It's drowning Monday. Fame and hoes, you just need to placate me. Get down on your knees.
Okay, if you didn't hear, Donald Trump has blurted out some pretty outrageous things. Here we can see his Twitter account, and we can see him saying, quoting someone, Wayne Allen Root, for his very nice words, Donald Trump is the greatest president for Jews and for Israel in the history of the world. And he is the king of Israel. We love him like he is the second coming of God.
And I was reading Ezekiel 8 again. I'm just completely being led to this particular chapter because, I mean, my spirit is just telling me there is a lot here to be, a lot to be learned here. And it pertains to exactly what's going on today. And again, you're going to have to read Ezekiel 8 and understand it for yourself. And everything I tell you, I can only tell you to take it to prayer, discern everything, and research it for yourself. I'm going to leave a ton of links for this. So, I mean, the research has already been done for you. I just am not the best at articulating these things to you. That's all. But when he tells them to dig into the wall, now they're at the temple now, and this is God giving Ezekiel these visions, and he tells them to behold the wicked abominations that they do, the idols of the house of Israel, the 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel. And he repeats these things over and over. See what they do, the ancients of the house of Israel, in the dark. Every man, he seeth us not, right? So there's your Isaiah 29:15. So again, I'm led right back to the synagogue. And this time I was led to count all the chairs and to study how this is laid out. And this is what I'm going to share with you in this particular video. If you look in this synagogue and count all the chairs, both in the audience section and in the inner circle here, this little semicircle, you have 111 seats in total. And once I got that figure, it was obvious to me, and I was literally just led right to where I had seen these things before. And this is all related to the Kabbalah. Okay? You have your Kabbalah tree, your 10-10-10, and your 1-1-1, and the knowledge of learning and gaining throughout your life, essentially. Kabbalah is very, very ancient and very, very Jewish, and you can learn all about it. They're eager to teach you about it. Again, I'll leave all these links. What is Kabbalah? It is the soul of Judaism. This is what they say, and I'll leave links for everything. But the Kabbalah also has other uses, and you know, the ones who attend the synagogue, essentially they're probably 98% well-meaning, God-loving. They sincerely seek the Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but they're being deceived. Okay? And that little tiny percentage, they're the ones that are doing the deceiving, and they're the ones that are working for Satan. And hardly any of them even know it. But some of them do. And they work off of the Kabbalah tree. Now, there are many versions. The tarot emanates from the Kabbalah tree. Okay, you need to look into this stuff if you're so inclined. The two pillars, Jachin and Boaz, outside of the temple, which I believe is what was being referred to in Ezekiel as the abominations at the gate of the altar. I just don't see how God could approve of them. And he tells Ezekiel to go into and see the abominations that they do. And just for this video, because I just can't contain and show all of it to you, but the 111 should just tell you that they're totally Kabbalists. And the way that these chairs are situated is very, very telling. Because if you look on the inner section here, there are 2 rows of 4 chairs at the very, very center of the synagogue here. Right up towards the front, which is right here. You see these 2 rows of 4 chairs? Those, plus the idol, because that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling that an abomination. They've gone in here more or less in secret, doing it right in front of us though, because that's what they do. And they've created an abomination almost directly below where the holies of holies, the literal presence of God would be. And there's 8 chairs, and the 9. That's what's known as the Council of 9. And if you don't believe that that's true, I just don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, simple wiki, if you do any digging into this, you'll find the real nitty-gritty details, but the Council of 9 is very real. It was to punish mankind, Zeus, and 8 other deities gathered to form the Council of 9. It's all here.
They see us, the general public, the masses, as nothing more than a bewildered herd or cattle. Their nickname for us, the people, is the sheeple. The Rockefellers are one of the more commonly known Illuminati families, and David Rockefeller, currently the patriarch of the Rockefeller family, is an American banker and philanthropist. Not just any American banker, mind you. He, along with the Rothschilds, another Illuminati bloodline, between these 2 families own the entire financial banking system and thus solely control the Federal Reserve, the Rockefellers controlling America and the Rothschilds covering the finances and banks in Europe. David Rockefeller is also the founder of the Council of Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. Both of these political groups basically get together to discuss foreign policy and ultimately are responsible for deciding the future of the world, which again and again the same theme emerges, a new world order, and he makes no secret of this. David Rockefeller is quoted in his book Memoirs as saying, quote, "Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure, one world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty."
Just a few days after Donald Trump's blasphemous statements, he hosts and celebrates religious freedom with evangelical leaders at a White House dinner. Now, this is very significant. Do you think that any of these people said, "Hey, Donald," or "Mr. President, that's pretty ridiculous, you calling yourself the King of Israel, the second coming of God. You know, you should really repent from these statements. They are not conducive of a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ." I highly doubt any of them did that, but here you can see them praying and hosting this dinner. Now we're going to get into the significance of that dinner in a moment, but I want you to just think and register in your mind the things that we have said about Donald Trump and Cyrus, him being this Cyrus type. Now we're saying he's the anti-Cyrus. Okay, he's building a third temple for himself. Okay, and what is going on here is something that just happened again. So with everything that I just showed you regarding Hanukkah, okay, well, he just did another state dinner for evangelical leaders just recently. Okay, around Hanukkah. Now there's more that happened around this time period in Hanukkah this year that I don't have time to get into in this video. But why is it I'm showing you these evangelical leaders? Why am I showing you this state dinner? Look at them praying for him and everything else. Well, of course, number one, it's very important for him to have the evangelical vote because of he's running for re-election. But there's something more significant going on here. Now here in Daniel chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar, after having a dream about this statue, okay, where Daniel says he is the statue, he is the head of gold, he then actually makes a statue. And Nebuchadnezzar the king made a statue of gold that was 60 cubits high. And what he does is he sets together the governors, the judges, and all the rulers of the province to the dedication. Now, of course, if we look at this word dedication in the Aramaic, in the Hebrew, it is Hanukkah. So it is during Hanukkah that the beast is getting everyone to worship him and to bow. Okay, this is Hanukkah. I apologize if that is not coming out that well. There's a H-A-N-U-K-A is how that should read. For some reason those letters are missing, but that's Hanukkah. So Nebuchadnezzar is dedicating a statue to himself, a dedication of the image at Hanukkah. Now, what is the significance of the dinner? So then we go to Daniel chapter 5, just a couple chapters later, and then we have another king of Babylon, Belshazzar, the king, made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. And Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple in Jerusalem. The king and the princes and the wives and the concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God. And the king and the princes and the wives and the concubines, they drank the wine. So what do we see? Donald Trump drinking the wine, having a feast for the apostate church. Okay? And they drank wine and praised the gods of gold, of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and stone. These, of course, are idols that we find in Revelation. In Revelation it says, the people repented not from worshiping their gods of gold and silver and iron and brass. These are also the components of the statue. Okay? So that's what Donald Trump has gotten you to do, is worship mammon. Gods of gold and silver and brass. A Jesus of prosperity, a false Jesus. Okay? And so that's what's happening in the state dinners. Donald Trump is fulfilling this king of Babylon role. Okay? But look what happens. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote against the candlestick. Okay? And so that, you guys know the story. And then there's the handwriting on the wall. Okay, but what are they doing? They're drinking from the vessels, from the temple. And Donald Trump is doing the same thing. During what? Hanukkah, the dedication of the image. You are the temple of the living God. But what are these people doing? They're drinking the wine. They're eating from the vessels of Babylon in the White House. So this is Mystery Babylon. Hopefully you can understand that. Okay, you have the Sanhedrin. They've dedicated the synagogue underground, which is the chamber of hewn stone. It's part of the third temple. The Sanhedrin has done the 70 nations. Okay? They've dedicated the altar. Okay? They have done these dinners. And guys, I'm doing all this to wake you up. Please, this type of content, this type of message, where are you hearing this? Where are you hearing people blow the trumpet about Donald Trump? Is he absolutely the Antichrist? We're not certain yet, but he is fulfilling things on precise dates that we've told you to watch for on this channel. Okay, he's really on the other side, guys. And I know the support is like a cult, but if you have loved ones, if you have people you care about, you need to share content like this. I'm keeping this video short. I'm showing you the times we've said, watch for this. Something has happened, okay? The 42 months, Trump has fulfilled it with his blasphemous statements. He has also fulfilled this moving of the U.S. Embassy on the date of the Cyrus decree. So please share this video, guys. Please get this to those that you care about. We're going to do everything we can to get people out of this beast system, because the end result of those that worship the beast is the lake of fire. There's no question about it, okay? So you'll see I'm going to screen comments because of all the anger and hatred and things I have to deal with. This is part of 2 playlists, okay? You saw the dedication of the altar. You saw the third temple. We have a third temple playlist. In that we've shown the red heifer, the coin, okay? All the things related to the third temple. That's a whole playlist. We go into more detail about the coin and other topics about the things that we've talked about in this video if you're not familiar. Secondly, we have a playlist, Is Trump the Antichrist? We're going to show you more detail, more things that he's doing that are very, very concerning. We're not saying for sure it's definitely him, but we're in the days of the apocalypse.
Okay? So please go to those playlists. There are going to be links in the description field. Go to those playlists. You'll see links of lots of videos, okay, which is proving all the information we're telling you. But we're keeping this short, and we're trying to get something to you that you can take, you can share, get this out on social media, get this out on what's going on. There'll be another part to this where we're going to share you more what Donald Trump is doing in this particular season. So thank you for watching. And as we say, please watch and pray, for these times are dreadful, that you be counted worthy to escape all these things. In Alpha Omega's name, amen.